Again, I'm trained at Carney from MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. I don't have a map, but luckily enough, if you think back to Brown's map, we're actually not too far from Providence. So if you head to Brown and head north about 2 hours, you'll actually find yourself on MIT's campus. So we are in the heart of Cambridge, Massachusetts, which is literally just across the river from Boston. So we have the best views of the city of Boston. MIT officially opened its doors in 1865. So we've been around for quite a while, and we are the first in a numerous number of ways. We are the first to offer undergraduate research opportunities for first-year students. We have the oldest architecture program in the country. So there's a lot of things that we are first at from being where we're located. We are also considered to be located in the innovation cluster of America because Kendall Square, which is the exact location of MIT, is considered this innovation cluster because we have all the big pharma, all the big tech, all those big industries that are looking to recruit MIT students, which also makes it a really great geographical location to be able to get internship and opportunities and even job offers right when you're a student at MIT. But the most important thing in understanding MIT is to understand a little bit about the mission, the why we do what we do. At MIT, everything we do is driven by our mission. And our mission is to educate students in science, technology, and other areas of scholarship to best serve the world in the 21st century. Very simply, what that means is when we admit students to MIT, we do so with the expectation that they're going to take the skills and the knowledge they learned here and go out and make the world a better place. And this might seem like a really lofty goal, but it's really not. MIT students tend to be doing some pretty amazing things every day. And some of their discoveries they're doing as students is shaking the world. And actually, one of the amazing inventions that came out of MIT that I like to think really impacted the world is something that I'm sure so many of you listening in right now have heard of. And that's very simply is Khan Academy. Khan Academy was developed by an MIT alumni, Salman Khan, who actually was looking for a tool to help support his younger siblings as they were struggling to study for the SATs. Their family couldn't afford to pay for private test prep. And so he realized that something had to change. And so he created a free online learning platform that would help students reach their goals. Now, has Khan Academy changed the world on its own? No, but has Khan Academy helped hundreds of thousands of students around the world attain their academic goals? Absolutely. And do those students go on to become doctors and scientists and engineers, CEO, bankers, admissions officers? Absolutely. And these are the people that are going to really take a meaningful impact on the world around us. And that's what MIT is all about. It's about meaningful impact. Our founders were all scientists and engineers themselves, and they saw the rate that science and technology was rapidly advancing after the Industrial Revolution. And they realized that they could harness these tools to bear on the world's greatest problems. So everything we do at MIT, from the admissions process to the type of work you do in the classroom, is grounded in this philosophy. The type of work you do in the classroom is not multiple choice questions. It's grounded in real world applications. You'll be tasked at creating prototypes if you're a mechanical engineer, or you'll be tasked with doing original cutting edge research if you're a scientist or a biologist, for example. But that's what it's grounded. But it's also going to inform our admissions process and what we look for in our students. We look for students who align with the mission, that are applying to MIT because they see themselves reflected in the goal to make a meaningful change on the world around them. And MIT is definitely known as one of the premier science research institutes, but we actually have a big liberal arts flair. And actually, while we are the Institute of Technology, we offer so much more than just STEM fields. In fact, MIT offers more liberal arts classes than many liberal arts schools do. And the ability to do cutting-edge original research exists in every single one of these academic departments. The schools at MIT that exist is the School of Architecture and Planning. And as I mentioned already, MIT has the oldest architecture program in the country. We were also the first school to graduate a Black architect, something that we're very proud of. We also have the School of Engineering, which is incredibly robust. Pretty much any form of engineering under the sun you can imagine, you can take it at MIT. And it's also why we have over 130,000 square feet of maker spaces on campus, because so many of our students come to MIT, they have the drive to create and innovate. And our engineering department is so vibrant and robust that we really have all the tools to support whatever maker endeavors that you have. Some of the highlights of the engineering department would definitely be aeronautics and aerospace engineering, where we have students every year who do partnerships and research alongside with NASA. MIT's also graduated more astronauts than any other institute in the world. And we also have a state-of-the-art wind tunnel where it can be used to actually test parts of space spacefaring vessels, which is really amazing. Sorry, yeah. School of Engineering. And we also have a nuclear reactor on campus. So if you're interested in nuclear engineering, there's literally nowhere else in the world where you have a research reactor right on campus to make it happen for students. But what we really consider a hidden gem is the School of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences. We offer creative writing, performing arts, science, technology, and society, really vibrant courses that are grounded in understanding the world we live in and learning how to communicate in it. And the professors and the faculty that teach in the humanities, arts, and social science departments are as renowned as in our STEM facilities as well. For example, if you study under creative writing, or your introduction to creative writing is taught by Junot Diaz, who is a Pulitzer Prize winner for his work. We also have the School of Science, where you can look at studying biology, neuroscience, what have you. Again, a robust and thriving department at MIT. We actually have the largest neuroscience lab in the world. And the Koch Institute, which is our cancer research center, has actually won 7 Nobel Prizes in the work they've done towards cancer research. And then we have our Sloan School of Management. So if you're interested in business, that is certainly something that you can pursue at MIT as well. And the Sloan School is world renowned for their MBA program, but a lot of people don't realize that our undergraduates are taking those classes as well. And our final and newest school at MIT is the Schwarzman College of Computing. This was launched about 4 years ago. And the idea was to think about a focus and a hub to focus on the intersectionality of computing. Now, as we advance, computing and coding is so much a part of all aspects of life. You can use machine learning to predict the progress of a disease if you're sick, or you can even use ChatGPT to write the newest Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, right? And so the College of Computing is really the area that is looking at the intersectionality of computer science and the world and how that reflects wider. But I say with a lot of what MIT offers, what really makes an education at MIT really unique is our actual educational philosophy. And that's really represented through our motto, mens et manus, which translates into mind and hand. And these are the 2 pillars of an MIT education. On one side, you have the mind, the mens, and this is the classroom learning, the stuff that you get from books. But on the other side, you have the manus, the hand. And this represents what makes an MIT education truly unique. And this is the dedication to a hands-on approach to learning. Because again, we want our students to go out and change the world, to make a real difference. And the only way that students are going to be able to do that is if they get that useful hands-on approach to knowledge. And so that's why all of our work is grounded in real world work applications, but why we also encourage students to gain that active learning by doing experience. And one of the most popular ways that students will gain this real world experience and especially flex their research muscles is going to be through our undergraduate research opportunities, or as we know them as UROPs. And UROPs exist in every single academic department across MIT, including the humanities, arts, and social sciences. And what these opportunities are is real world research happening across faculty labs that undergraduates, including first years, can sign up for with little to no prerequisites. And they're really doing the cutting edge of research. Pictured here is Ronald Davis, one of our graduates from 2018 who majored in aerospace and aeronautic engineering. He actually did a super UROP, which is a 1-year program at the intersection of quantum computing and mechanics. And he actually designed a microscale coil that can be really promising technology for the future of quantum computing. And that's the type of level that our undergraduate students are working on. So it's already groundbreaking. So as I mentioned now that students at MIT begin to impact the world before they even graduate, that remains so true. And part of that is through our UROPs. The coolest thing about a UROP is that it is a paid position at MIT. So while you can do it for purely the experience, you can also do it for pay. And that can be actually part of your financial aid. If you have a work study portion of that, part of your financial aid award could be offset by work contributions. And you can do that through UROPing at MIT. And these UROPs can also lead you to having a patent or being a published author by the time that you graduate. But regardless of all of our really cool resources and research opportunities that we have available, what really makes MIT MIT very simply is its people. We do a big job in ensuring that the people that we admit to MIT are really part of the larger community, because being part of community and working and collaborating with other people is so important of being successful at MIT. If you're the type of student who works alone and that's how you thrive, that's great for you, but MIT is not going to be a good fit. being collaborative, helping other people, supporting other people, but also knowing how to ask for help is going to be really important for your success. And that's why that we're really thoughtful about who we admit to our community. When we admit a student, we're not just admitting grades and test scores, we're admitting someone's future classmate, someone's roommate, someone's research partner on an assignment, and really thinking about how that their presence is going to benefit to the community and benefit the community at large as well. And we also really focus on having a really diverse community, because we truly believe that when you group a group of students together from different walks of life, different backgrounds, and you put them in an environment like MIT, it really creates an environment for innovation to occur organically, where students learn from each other's perspectives and experiences. Taking a snapshot of our undergraduate class, and these are the statistics from last year, we had almost 5,000 undergraduate students, 4,657 to be specific. 48% of them are women. 57% identified as a member of a US minority group. And we had undergraduates from over 100 different countries and dozens sovereign nations as well. 67% of the class of 2026 came from the public school systems, and about 18% of our undergraduate student body are first generation of college students. So as I said, there's all walks of life, all backgrounds, and we not only welcome students from different perspectives and lived experiences, but we want you to also bring your different interests and personalities to our community, because altogether, that's what truly makes MIT MIT. And to apply to MIT, something to really keep into account is that MIT is not on the Common App. So in the group of consortium colleges, part of the STARS network, many of them may be a part of the Common App. MIT is not. We do have our own separate application. And the reason for that is that what really drives our selection process at MIT is going to be the match between you and the institute. And the only way for us to figure those things out is to have our own custom application that hits on those specific things. Because at the end of the day, most students applying to MIT academically are admissible. So it's all the other stuff that makes it different. We want to see that you're involved in your day-to-day activities with extracurriculars. What extracurriculars you do, we don't mind. We just want to see that you're engaged, that you're pursuing things that excite you. But one thing to really keep in mind about applying to MIT, which is going to be the big differentiator with almost all of the consortium schools, if not all of them. Excuse me for the noise. I have 3 very rowdy dogs, so I can hear barking in the background. So I apologize if you can hear it. But the main thing with the MIT application and applying to MIT that I really want to call out, because it is going to be the main differentiator between us and pretty much every other consortium school here today, is that MIT has brought back the SAT or ACT test requirement. So to apply to MIT, you are going to need to submit either the SAT or ACT. We don't have a preference to which one you take, but we want you to take at least one of them and take whichever one you think we do best in. We allow super scoring. You can either get super score from the College Board or we'll super score internally, but we do require it. And we're not looking for perfection, right? You don't need to have perfect scores to apply and be admitted to MIT, but we want you to do well. And if you're wondering why did we bring the SAT test back, it's very simply that MIT's institute requirements, the general core curriculum for all students, consists of 2 semesters of calculus, 2 semesters of physics, a semester of chemistry, and a semester of bio, regardless of what you end up majoring in. So we really need to know that you have strong math chops, because without strong math chops, you're really going to struggle in calculus, and you're even going to struggle in physics. So part of our job is admitting students to MIT that we know can thrive at MIT and not break them on their first year because they don't have the adequate prep. So until there is a better standardized way to ensure that the prep that you're getting really sets you up well, the SAT and the ACT is something that we're going to rely on, but it is just one small part of your application. We're also going to get your transcript. We're going to see the classes that you're taking and the grades that you're getting there. And we also recognize that, you know what, bad test days happen. It doesn't necessarily mean that's a picture of your full academic. So we are a holistic school. We will look at all components of your application, but do keep in mind that if you're applying for MIT, you will need to submit the testing. If you're applying early action, which is non-restrictive and non-binding, the last test date is the November test date. If you're applying regular action, which is January 5th, the last test date is December. And with that, just to end the session, going on to our financial aid policies at MIT. So ours are quite straightforward MIT is need blind, and you can switch to the next slide. Thank you very much. So affording MIT. So we are need blind, which means, as you've learned now, that your ability to pay tuition does not factor in at all into your admissions decision. Our financial aid office and admissions office are completely separate, and we make decisions based on your academics and your extracurriculars and your teacher recommendations and all of that. We are also need-based, so MIT offers no merit-based scholarships whatsoever. At the end of the day, all students admitted to MIT are deserving of merit. We couldn't give financial aid to simply everybody, but all of our financial aid then is based on families' demonstrated needs. So your EFC, your expected family contribution, would be calculated. And then MIT is a full need school, which means that we'll meet 100% of your family's demonstrated need through outright scholarships, grants, work contributions, and in some case loans. 80% of MIT students are on financial aid. So the vast majority of students are paying nowhere near the sticker price for an education to attend. And for students who do leave with student loans, which is about 15% or less, the average student loan that they do leave with is about $14,000. And we see that the average starting salary for an MIT graduate is about $90,000 to $120,000. So students who do leave with student loans, which is the minority, have generally no problem paying back those loans after they graduate. And for families that are making under $150,000 a year, you are automatically granted free tuition. So that rips off the whole cost of attendance in terms of tuition right off of it. And then the only financial contribution you'll need to make is actually to cover the cost of living for the student over their 4 years. If you want an idea of what your financial aid award could be, you can use the financial aid calculator on our website, mitadmissions.org/afford, or the My Intuition app, which MIT is also a part of. And you can submit your information there, and you can get a good estimate of what your EFC is. And as again, because we're a full need school, we'll meet 100% of your family's demonstrated need. Now, if you have any other questions or concerns, want to learn more about MIT, I definitely advise all students and families and any counselors that are logged in here today to visit mitadmissions.org. We have a really robust website that gives you tips on how to apply to MIT, what you should do to prepare. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to email our office at admissions@mit.edu.